Hey Lee, it's Saba again. We're going to go a little further today with Goodnight Moon. I plan to read the whole book before we're through with this, and then we'll read another book. But we got to do it right. So I'm going to go to Goodnight Moon again, and we're going to give you a little more background about this book. So we'll start again. In a great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs. And 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens. Now, we'll stop right there. I want to talk about the 2 little kittens and the pair of mittens. So there's a little nursery rhyme that goes with that too. And as you probably know, nursery rhymes are little poems that are written for kids like you because they're fun to say and they're for kids. They're written just for kids. So there's a nursery rhyme about kittens and mittens, and it goes to explain it, you got to know something. You like cats, you've seen cats, but you've probably not spent a whole lot of time around a whole lot of cats. And if you do, you'll notice that many cats have white paws, especially on their front feet. A lot of times they have white paws. And you can ask your mom or dad to show you pictures of cats with white paws. It's very common in cats. And some people call those mittens because it looks like the cats are wearing mittens. Do you know what mittens are? Well, actually, you may not remember this, Leah, but you wore them once. You don't need mittens in California where you lived for the first 2 years of your life. You don't need mittens in Palo Alto, California, because it never really gets cold there. You might need them once in a while where you live now, but not very much. But when you were a little girl, you visited your aunt in Utah. And you can ask your mom and dad to show you pictures. But I saw a picture of you in Utah in the snow. If you remember your aunt, she's the one that has 2 great big white dogs that are very sweet and very friendly. They're called Samoyeds, 2 big white dogs. And you were there and it was cold and there was snow everywhere and you were playing in the snow and you were wearing mittens. So you can ask your mom and dad to show you that picture. Mittens are things you put over your hands to keep them warm. And some people think that cats with white paws look like they're wearing white mittens. And so they refer to them sometimes as having mittens. And mittens is a common name for cats in the United Kingdom. So that's where that came from. So there's a little poem about kittens and mittens. And I want you to remember something else. There's a dish called pie. I checked with your mom and she says you've never eaten pie. And that's okay. You don't have to eat pie. It's been years since I've had any. But pie is something you make usually with fruit, and you make a nice, real sweet kind of bowl of fruit, and you put it inside, sort of like bread, and you bake it in an oven, and it comes out sort of like a big loaf of bread, but inside it there's this real good stuff. It's real sweet. Usually it's made out of fruit. You can make pies out of other things. Like, for instance, if you remember the song Old Joe Pike, the first verse is, Old Joe Pike had a great big house, 13 stories high, and every story in that house was filled with chicken pie. So you can make pie out of chicken, but usually it's made out of fruit, and it's usually sweet and something you would eat as a treat. You wouldn't eat a meal out of it. You wouldn't eat it for breakfast. You might eat it as a sweet. Okay, so that's the background for the story. And the story is the 3 little kittens, and I've got it right here. Here's how it goes. The 3 little kittens, they lost their mittens, and they began to cry, "Oh, mother dear, we sadly fear our mittens we have lost." "What? Lost your mittens, you careless kittens? Then you shall have no pie. Meow, meow, meow. No, you shall have no pie." Now, I want to tell you something. A cat, when it says meow, a lot of times it means it's not happy. I was at the vet, the dog doctor with Toby, and there was a lady there that had a cat in a box. Cat didn't like being in the box, and it kept saying, meow, meow, meow. I don't like it in here. So that's what Mama says. Lost your kittens, you mittens, you careless kittens. Then you shall have no pie. Meow, meow, meow. No, you shall have no pie. Next verse. The three little kittens, they found their mittens, and they began to cry, "Oh, mother dear, see here, our mittens we have found." "What? Found your mittens? You good little kittens, then you shall have some pie. Purr, 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 oh, you shall have some pie." And when a cat's real happy, it purrs. If you've ever heard a cat purr, it makes a noise like this, real low. If you ever hear a cat do that when it's rubbing against you or when you're petting it, it means it likes you very much and it's very happy. So now you know the story, The Three Little Kittens. Let's read it again, and so you can get the whole cadence of the story. The three little kittens, they lost their mittens, and they began to cry, "Oh, mother dear, we sadly fear our mittens we have lost." "What? Lost your mittens? You careless kittens, then you shall have no pie. Meow, meow, meow. No, you shall have no pie." The three little kittens, they found their mittens, and they began to cry, "Oh, mother dear, see here, our mittens we have found." "What? Found your mittens? You good little kittens, then you shall have some pie. Purr, 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 yes, you shall have some pie." Okay, get back to Goodnight Moon. We're talking about the stuff in the great big room. And two little kittens, and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house, and a young mouse, and a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush, and a quiet old lady whispering, "Hush." Okay, now one more time we're going to do the first part of Goodnight Moon without any interruptions, so you get the cadence of the story. In the great green room, there was a telephone, and a red balloon, and a picture of a cow jumping over the moon. And there were three little bears sitting on chairs, and two little kittens, and a pair of mittens, and a little toy house, and a young mouse, and a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush, and a quiet old lady whispering, "Hush." Okay, next time we're going to do the rest of the story. Promise. Talk to you soon. Oh, come say hello to Toby. He got that thing taken off his head. Toby, come here. Toby, come here. Say hello to Leah. Toby's feeling lazy. But you see, he's got that thing off his head finally. But he's a long way from well. I have to take real good care of him until he gets well. Talk to you soon.